Hey, how's it going? Welcome back to another video. I haven't made a video in a minute, but decided I'd make a video on a bit of a breakthrough that I had recently. And by recently, I'd say maybe like a month and a half, 2 months ago. This video is unscripted as well, so if I ramble or babble incoherently, I apologize in advance. Yeah, hands, focus, hands. So hands are obviously like every beginner artist and sometimes even like established artists' worst nightmare. It's definitely something that I have and do always struggle with. So like half this sketchbook, I don't know exactly how many pages it is, but it's like I think near 100 pages, and a lot of these pages are filled with just hands, kind of like this, to varying degrees of goodness. So this is probably the page where I kind of figured it out, at least, for the most part. Obviously, everybody has bad drawings, bad days. Some of these hands on here are not perfect and not great, but others, I feel like kind of hit the mark I'm wanting to hit. And I felt like if you look at what I wrote here, if you can read that, I wrote like this is half right, but mainly a 2D representation. So originally I was constructing hands like this, and obviously like turning in 3D space, this would become more of like a cube, and then kind of like a weird triangular prism thing that would offshoot on the side of it for the thumb. But if you look at a hand, and I spent a lot of time looking at my own hand for this video, and I'll kind of put it here if this helps next to this, I realized that this piece, like if this was the hand I was drawing, my thumb would have to be coming out like up here, where my index finger is, and like right off of my index finger basically. But really the hand kind of has this ball muscle here that kind of pops off for the thumb, and it's a lot further down. And if you look at hands I've previously drawn, I was like actually placing it up here, which maybe this is like a super obvious video and kind of unnecessary to make, but it really like changed the game for me. And I realized I was just like looking at hands wrong kind of for the past 5 years, which is kind of dumb, but it works out. I figured it out, right? So like for example, this is kind of a hand without fingers, so your thumb palm muscle here, I'm not one of those super anatomy nerd people. I kind of just call it like a palm muscle and stuff like that. I kind of have my own names for things. It kind of bulges out here, especially if you do something like this with your hand. So I kind of accentuated that there, and then I kind of wrote another note like I'm stuck at drawing hands in perspective. So I've kind of realized I need to use this thumb muscle as the anchor for a lot of my hand drawings, because this is the piece that kind of connects into the wrist. Maybe not actually, but in my brain, that's how it works. So if I kind of flip down here through the sketchbook, or the little wizard guy on the left, like if I were to draw a hand, freehand here, like it's going to be coming out of the thumb muscle there, gonna pop off there, and then here's a index finger knuckle, and then you obviously have your knuckle, and then you have two more, right? So you have this one and this one on all of your fingers, and then your middle finger is obviously the longest finger, and the index and the ring are about equal length, and your pinky is obviously like the little guy on the right or left, depending which hand you're looking at. So like so, this is kind of my knuckle shape, and then your bottoms of your fingers kind of have these more skin flappy fat muscle areas, and then your top of your fingers is really just skin over bone for the most part, or at least that's how it looks. Again, I am not an anatomy nerd, and so really you just gotta kind of draw connecting lines there. Make sure your little skin flappies underneath the fingers kind of curve, and then your tops are flat, and then you'll draw your flat of the actual finger where your nail is, or tip of the finger, and then round it off there, and then you can kind of do that for all of them, and then at varying perspectives, right? And then your thumb kind of has that muscle that comes in there, right? And this may seem really convoluted, and hopefully it makes sense. I know I kind of maybe talk fast, But I think it's also important, kind of the, I guess, moral of this video is, you know, you should kind of find the way that you want to draw things, as long as your end result is right, right? So like if I want to draw a fist, because, you know, like people like drawing things, punching things, right? It's kind of the same concept. The thumb muscle anchors down in there, and the flappies are there, and then your wrist would be kind of behind that, and your knuckles would theoretically pop up over there, right? And if you want to do the other hand, you can kind of boop, 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 boop. I'm just drawing this kind of perspective because it's easy for me to nail for whatever reason. Like this style of hand drawing, this index finger is way too long for this thumb, but that's all right. Hopefully the point still gets across. And then this would kind of pop out here. This thumb would be a little bit longer, just a tad. All right, there you go. And I tend to draw watches on people's arms when I'm practicing hand, just because it helps with perspective and showing the curve of the wrist. This hand is also like kind of long in this part, but that's okay. But yeah, hopefully that makes sense. This is kind of a weird, quick video, recording for 7 minutes. Yeah, hope it helped. See ya.